Hi everyone, Janet Boyer here, and today I thought I would share with you my 5 tarot books that I have written. I can't believe I've never done this video in all these years. This is actually the 15th anniversary. Wait, it can't be that way. 2008, 18, 19, 20. Oh my God. It is actually the 15th anniversary that my first book, Back in Time Tarot, came out. And I thought I'd share the story of some of these and show them to you. I started out as a reviewer on Amazon. Oh my gosh, probably almost 20 years ago. I used to get a lot of tarot decks and oracle decks, and I was really frustrated that the few sites that did do reviews only showed the pretty cards, and they basically just always gave glowing reviews, so I believed them. And, back then tarot decks were, a little more pricey. It wasn't kind of like the golden age yet. And I got frustrated about that. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to start reviewing things and give my honest opinion. And also images of more than just a couple of the prettiest cards. So I did like 15 scans. My website isn't active anymore. I blew it up, but I had hundreds of reviews on there. But anyway, my point was, as I started out as a reviewer and I started becoming a better and better writer, tighter with nonfiction, because you have to kind of get to the point. I started out pretty verbose. And so one day I got a note from an author who ended up becoming my friend, Judica Illes. Apparently her agent, I think, or publicist, maybe publicist, said, hey, you have to read this review of your latest book. And she said, no, you know my policy, I never read reviews of my work. And she goes, no, but you have to read this one. And apparently the publicist was so impressed with my review, and Judica was so honored and encouraged by my review, that Judica actually reached out to me and became my friend. And so when the idea for this book popped into my head, literally when I was soaking in my claw bathtub, I ran downstairs, and the first person I actually contacted was Mark McElroy, a wonderful colleague who writes the best tarot books. And I said, look, I had this idea and it's basically encapsulates how I taught myself tarot, because I'm sorry, the tarot books on the market just did nothing for me. I don't understand how some of these revered tarot authors are so revered, because they're, in my opinion, their tarot books are so dry, dense, and boring as hell. And I learned nothing from them, especially with everyday tarot readings or, psychological understanding, self-understanding. They were no good to me. So what I would do to learn tarot is I would take a card and I would look at the image, and you can use any tarot deck as long as it's animated, meaning the pips or the minor arcana, like let's say 2 of coins, 3 of cups, 4 of swords, as long as it's animated, meaning it shows people or animals or something doing things, as long as you can tell a story about them, that's a good deck. And what I would do is I would take a card and I'd say, okay, this particular card, what does it remind me of? And that could be a personal memory. It could be something from history, something in the news, a song, a play, literally anything. What you do is you could do just one. Like, let's say you were going to do the Wizard of Oz. You could just pick a card and say, okay, who reminds me of Dorothy and why? And you journal, your insights and correlate. Or if you did the whole Wizard of Oz, you could do, Dorothy and Toto and Auntie M and the Wicked Witch and the Wizard and the Emerald City and Scarecrow. You could make a bit snapshot, or what I call Back in Time Tarot snapshot, as brief or as elaborate as you want. And so I emailed my friend Mark, and I says, would you contribute a bit snapshot to this book? And he was excited by the idea. He did it, and so did some other tarot authors and illustrators. And so then I just had a couple set out, and I sent it to my friend Judica, and I said, do you think this would be a good tarot book? She loved the idea. She hooked me up with her contact at Hampton Roads, and I had a book contract within a week, I think it was. And so I said all that to encourage you that, start where you are, and you never know where it's going to lead you. And so, yeah, this is my first book. And It has a bunch of different back in time tarot or bit snapshots. I even write notes in it. Isn't that funny? Yes, I read and write notes in my own books. That's how you know you're a really good writer. No, I'm just teasing. So I explain what you need. What is a bit snapshot? I give an overview of tarot structure. Mark McElroy's was the first one, Finding My Way Back to Faith. So I have like Mary K. Greer, Discovering the Tarot. She's a fantastic tarot author. She's not one of those dry authors I was referring to, by the way. She's really good. Josephine Ellershaw, Phyllis Vega, Wilma Carroll, Teresa Michelson. You'll recognize quite a few of these tarot luminaries, I'm sure. Nina Lee Braden. And quite a few for me too, like It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Yes, I do a bit snapshot of The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. I did Steve Irwin, The Crocodile Hunter. Lon Milo Duquette, he did one on 9/11. So I actually did one on U.S. states. I did Song from the 80s, holidays, dates, and celebrations. So yeah, you go to 186 and you see the 80s. Oh wow, see, I read my own book. There's a oh, it's to the song from the 80s. So Everybody Wants to Rule the World, I associate with The Emperor by Tears, with Tears by Fear. Tears for Fears. Wheel of Fortune, the song Changes by Yes. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, Eurythmics, Seven of Cups. Two of Swords, I Know There's Something Going On by Frida. All my favorite songs, from the 80s, I correlated with tarot cards, and I explained why. Tainted Love by Soft Cell, Five of Cups. Jeopardy, Five of Pentacles, The Greg Kihn Band. Our House, Madness, Ten of Pentacles. I Don't Care Anymore, Phil Collins, Four of Cups. Witch Hunt by Rush, my favorite band, The Devil. So, yeah. And if you go to my blog at jannaboyer.com, you'll be able to find sample bit snapshots in there. But, yeah, so this is 15 years, my first book. And that was back in 2008. And would you believe One Spirit Book Club named this one of their favorite books of 2018, alongside a Deepak Chopra book. I kid you not. I still have it somewhere, the pamphlet. My next book is Tarot in Reverse. And this book teaches you how to read reverse or upside down tarot cards should you want to. And these are all my, none of these are like derivative. All my books are like really original, because I taught myself tarot for the most part. And so like Six of Cups, it'll show, something I should say, sorry, is in the back of the Back of Time tarot book. Let's see, I think it has the entire deck. Yeah, so if you don't have a tarot deck, the entire Rider-Waite is reproduced here. US Games gave us permission. So even if you don't have a tarot deck, you can use my Back in Time tarot book. You can always rip it out and cut them out if you want, or you could just use them in the back and flip through them to go, card by card. So just wanted to point that out just in case you don't have a tarot deck yet. Tarot in Reverse is for those who want to read upside down cards. Some tarotists don't. But I've heard this was extremely accurate. A lot of these, are just unusual interpretations I've come across or intuitively, picked up from the ether, so to speak. And I have like a ton of definitions of what it could mean. I have a little explanation of the card, and I have a quote. I have the advice, and I also have 20 affirmations. Yeah, I did 20 affirmations for every single tarot card. So even if you just like affirmations, think about it. 78 cards in a tarot deck, 78 times 20, right? And these are kind of affirmations to get that card upright or to get more of an insight. And they're unusual. Again, these are unusual, if I do say so myself, affirmations. And they're for court cards. It's for the major arcana. All of the cards in the deck. And the cool thing is, it's full color and glossy. Isn't that beautiful? So that was my second book. That came out 2012. These all came out the same year. So this is why I got burned out on writing, and I took a break, like extensive years-long break, because the well was dry at this point. This baby is over 110,000 words. I kid you not. Naked Tarot, Sassy Stripped Down Advice. This is from Dodona Books. Oh, I love them. They're out of the UK. They're fantastic. And so for every card, I give you a crap load of stuff. So, like, let's say Nine of Wands, I give you a stripped down overview. I give you a bunch of keywords, personifications and embodiments in pop culture in the world, a quote. I give what the challenge of the card is, like for Nine of Wands, demoralization. The gift is resilience. I actually have occupations and vocations. A Disney totem. This would be Woody from Toy Story 2. Animal symbol, flower essence. Yeah, I studied flower essences for years too, for fun. So that's both Bach and Australian Bush. Crystal stone. I do aromatherapy, body parts and health issues, mystical messenger, Sabian symbol, writing prompt, affirmation. But then I get into naked advice, and I provide advice for career, for each card, romance, parenting. Now, as far as I know, no other tarot book has ever given parenting advice in their interpretations. I actually thought about writing, tarot for parents, but I have a lot of ideas, only so much energy. So parenting for even every card, and then spirituality. So yeah, so we got work, we got career, romance, parenting, spirituality, and then recommended resources that include paintings, movies, songs, that seem to reflect that energy. So yeah, you'll really understand tarot if you get this book and you read it and apply it. And I also created a spread for every single card in the tarot, all 78 cards. So the Nine of Wands card layout is the University of Adversity spread. And like it would be first card, when adversity hits, what's my go-to response? What is beneficial about this response? What is detrimental? How do I best deal with adversity right now? What lessons have I learned from adversity? What psychic wound might I be experiencing? How do I address this wound? How can I heal it once and for all? What will fortify me against future adversity? And final advice. So yeah, so every single card has a spread. So yeah, that's 78 spreads in here. But I also explain what, like, let's say what reversals could mean, how to choose a deck in the beginning, about the correspondences. I explained, how I came up with those, court cards, I also do extras with the court cards. I also associate Myers-Briggs with those, and Enneagrams, Cattell's, 16PF, the Strengths Finder. So yeah, I do extra stuff with each of the court cards because they often get short shrift, and it's a shame. So I'll actually say, like, let's say Page of Wands is the ENFP, the motivator. That's me. I'm an ENFP. It says what all the beneficial traits of the ENFP or Page of Wands is, all the detrimental traits. It'll in an Enneagram, different personality systems. So that's in addition to the full Monty here, so to speak. So the court cards get those extra. So that is Naked Tarot. This came out in 2018, I believe. Yeah. And while I was doing this, we were launching our coffee tarot deck. My husband did the art for it, and then I wrote the companion book. So, right after that, then I got on to writing the companion book. Oh my gosh. Of course, I had some notes from when we brainstormed it. So, yeah, so this gives you an example of what, these are self-published through Amazon, but oh my God, we had a professional book designer. So believe me, these are gorgeous. Oh, I love the covers on this. And it's full color. So I love quotes, as you can see. A quote for every card. This is our version of the Empress. I have keywords, consider, the French press at work, romance, personal growth. And by the way, this is not the same text that's in Naked Tarot. Yeah, this is all new, even though it looks, similar. It's a different thing because I'm writing it with the lens of our image, not the Rider-Waite. Then I give intuitive questions for every card, writing prompts for every card, 5. So it's 5 times 78. So if you're a writer, I really think you'll like both our coffee deck and our Snowland deck. And the affirmations for the French press, the fortune, Ron's thoughts. At the end, also, Ron gives his thoughts about each card. And that's really cool, to come from the artist's point of view, what his thoughts are about the card was, or maybe how he drew it, or what his inspiration. There's even like faux coffee stains in here, and more quotes, of course. Isn't that cool? And at the end, we even have sketches. We have ideas for cards that didn't make it. This was like my image of the Four of Wands that kind of went in. And I'm not even an artist. I mean, not a drawer anyway. And I explained this, and as you can see, they were just kind of written on index cards, or sometimes Ron would get an inspiration at work and write it on a Post-it. Ron came up with tons of coffee names for the Seven of Cups, which is like the indecision card or lots of options card. So he came up with tons of names. If you see the card, you'll know. Wait, let me look it up for you. Yeah, we have them all in here. Okay, Seven of Water. So she's going to the store, and she's got all these, oh my God, what coffee do I get, right? Because that's how stores are. And so he submitted a ton of, names for me, and I'm the one that picked them. So yeah, I remember when we come up with this, we were just on the porch talking about, hey, wouldn't it be cool to do a coffee deck? And we started like correlating. This is like how the Halloween, I come up with the image of this. So it's a true collaborative effort, or decks. I do a coffee timeline, lore, tips, and trivia about coffee dream symbols in case they show up in a dream. I even do the art of reading coffee grounds. I have a game, how many can you spot, like through the whole deck, how many maps, how many burlap bags, how many lanterns, lamps, how many brains, how many untied shoelaces, how many skulls, how many spoons. So that's fun. So yeah, seek and find. Did you notice, like the grave dirt and the wake-up call looks like mounded coffee grounds. The baby in the Ten of Earth card is a liger. The tattoo Juan on the Strength card is a nod to the fictional Juan Valdez. So I put a lot of that stuff. Some behind the scenes. Again, there's extra spreads that are in here. I made actual spreads based on our coffee deck. Like Zombies Are After Me spread for when you find yourself on the defensive. I'll show you the zombie card. It's one of our favorites. Let's see, that would be... Here we go. Seven of Fire. Defensive. Oh my God. Isn't that hilarious? Ron did a great job. Okay, so that was our coffee deck. Now, our Snowland deck actually was done around the same time as Tarot in Reverse, around 2012. But I only had... I didn't have a full companion book. I think I had just keywords. So I figured, hey, we're doing, the Coffee Tarot companion. Let's get Snowland. Let's have Snowland. After all this was our first deck, and I said, well, let's do that. So then again, the same professional designer did our Snowland companion, and I love this deck for summer. It's so hot here in Pennsylvania, and it's hot in many places because it cools me off. I'm kind of got like Viking blood. So we have a Snowland word search in the resources. There's a playlist of like some of Ron's favorite songs that he was playing when he did it. Explain the background of it. And yeah, a lot of good stuff in here. I explain about the different suits. Even Noah shared some thoughts, like about the snowman mannequin. But each card has a description, keywords, intuitive questions to ask, writing prompts, affirmations, and a secret. And it's color-coded as well. Director is done in emerald green, kind of an aqua for the cup suit, which we call moding, gray for the mental suit, which is usually swords and air, and then a burgundy red for our fire suit, also known as wands. And again, this is full color as well. And then I also created something called a significator cards in the Soul GPS system. I don't believe in taking significators out of a deck, meaning you don't take a card out of a deck and say, okay, this represents you or Querent or myself, because then you take it out of play. So I created Soul GPS system. I have it in the coffee deck as well. The coffee deck is basically, it just looks like the elements. I'll have to go back and show you. But this is like for fire is a snowflake, air is an icicle, earth is an ice cube, and for cups, it's a snowball. And I explain how you draw the card before a reading or what have you, and how it'll give you instant insight into the situation, especially if somebody doesn't give you any background. It's like a sneaky secret squirrel way to find out what's going on. And I think, yeah. And I also have the same system here, the 4 elemental significator cards of my Soul GPS system, except this is fire, air, earth, and water that are actual elemental cards. And that comes with our deck too. And it explains, like if the querent were to choose water, it'll explain what the querent feels, what they need, what they might be pondering, approach to the reading. Yeah. Then with this, also the anatomy of a tarot deck for Snowland. Oh, and I jokingly associate them with like Star Trek races, retro TV, 100 Acre Woods, Four Humors, Jungian functions and seasons. So like Star Trek Betazoids would be the cups, Klingon fire, Ferengi, of course, those acquisitional materialistic earth suit, and Vulcans would be the air and logic. And I explained too how to read court cards. I have a system that does the rank and keyword association. So remember the formula, court card interpretation equals rank plus suit. So I give some cool keys on that. So yeah, so any of these, will get you up to speed. If you want to buy our Snowland deck or Coffee Tarot, just go to shayboyer.etsy.com. That's CHEZBOYER.etsy.com. And if you don't want a paper print copy, it's also in digital PDF. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I've never done this before, so it's kind of cool to go down memory lane and appreciate what I've done. Sometimes I minimize it because they don't sell well. They're niche books, and there are times in my discouraged moments that I say I wasted my time. And I know some of my fans will be like, what? No. And of course, my husband and son say that too. They're like, no, these are great. And they are good books, I must say. It's just a lot of grief and angst associated with the whole tarot deal. Mostly the people involved with it. With some of the people online, you can get some real whack job haters. You know how it goes. But I am proud of it, and I just thought I'd share this with you. Again, Back in Time Tarot, Tarot in Reverse. This is not available in digital or ebook. The publisher, for whatever reason, has decided that that's not a thing for them. I don't know. I guess they're just staying old school paper. Back in Time was one of the, that was in ebook right from the beginning. Naked Tarot is also in ebook form. And again, these are all available through Amazon or your favorite bookstore, all of these. These two are only available. You can get them through Amazon, but they're expensive. If you go to Amazon.com, they're cheaper to go through shayboyer.etsy.com. It's the same thing, but it's up to you. And so I thought I'd share these with you and show you what, that I'm an author too, not just junk journal and jewelry maker, what have you. So yeah, lots of words, lots of work. Well, I hope you enjoyed this go through of my tarot books. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section below. I'd be glad to answer them about writing, publishing, tarot, what have you. So you take care and have a good day. Bye-bye for now.